nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Details have emerged. The partner of late influencer Ashlee Robinson, better known online as Ashlee Jenae, is currently being held in Zanzibar as authorities investigate the circumstances surrounding her sudden death. His passport has been confiscated until the autopsy is complete. Robinson, a 31-year-old American tent died earlier this month vacationing on the archipelago with her fiancé, Joseph Isaac McCann. What began as a celebratory birthday trip has since turned into an international case, leaving her loved ones grieving. The influencer was found dead in her room after the two were separated following a dispute at their hotel. Deputy Director of Investigations in Zanzibar, Zuberi Chembera, has declined to give a statement, saying the probe into the case is still ongoing. More information has come out, though. Witnesses have come forward and stated that the two quarreled frequently from the time they arrived on April 4th until April 8th, when they were separated by hotel management. They were placed in different rooms about a 10-minute walk away. A few hours later, the influencer was found in a closet with a belt around her neck, according to a hotel worker. She was taken to the hospital and passed away the following day. Authorities in Tanzania have suggested that Robinson's death may have been a suicide, citing initial findings based on the way she was discovered. However, that conclusion remains under investigation and has been met with skepticism from her family. In a statement given to CBS News, Robinson's loved ones stated that they're looking for transparency regarding what happened to their daughter. They were in a gorgeous place in Africa and happy, her mother Yolanda Endres said. Everything that we knew was that she was supposed to be happy. She was engaged, she celebrated her birthday thereafter, and then she's just gone. Suspicion grew with McCann's inconsistent communication. He allegedly didn't inform Robinson's parents about what had happened to her until 11 hours later. The communication then halted, and her family got the news that their daughter had died from the hotel. The fiancé did not reach out to us at all, Harry Robinson said. That's devastating when your daughter's halfway around the world. We just wanted to know where she was at, who she was with, and that she was okay. Just give us something. He continued, there's cameras everywhere at a resort, and that will match the timeline. Just do the investigation and let us know. For now, McCann remains in Zanzibar, unable to leave as authorities work to determine exactly what happened in the final hours of Ashlee Robinson's life.
Okay, so I know the case is ongoing and we're waiting to see what the investigation will reveal. People are saying that, she took her life, but her family said that she would never take her life, and especially in that manner. And to be honest with you, I just don't believe I don't believe that's what happened. I personally, and this is just my personal opinion, do believe he had something to do with it or he paid somebody to do it. And it's not about a fight. It's not about like someone else or what people were bringing up. I did hear about him having financial issues with his cryptocurrency, and here it talks about him winding down his asymmetrical liquid alpha funds after a massive loss in value. So the fund was down 78%. That's not good. That's really not good. And it says crypto volatility is down in almost 30%. So things are not looking good. Investors seem to be exiting. And this is what I mean by I'm having a hard time believing that she did this to herself. I'm wondering if this fight was about money, not him losing his own money, but is it possible that he convinced her to invest in the currency and she did invest a significant amount of money into it and she was promised a huge payday? I wonder if that's what this was all about. I wonder if this was what it was all about, just to kind of keep her from asking about the issue or the fund, or which if her money ended up being lost in that. That's my question about the fight, because people have been like, okay, so you get engaged, you are on a birthday trip, and you see these pictures of nature walks and all this stuff, the animals feeding the animals flowers and everything, and he proposes to her, which could be like a shut up ring, but it's a don't pay attention to what's going on with my company ring. And if he lost her money, if she found out or she looked at something, or I don't know. But I'm wondering if that's what happened and then he did something or paid someone to do something. That's where I'm going with this, but I will keep up with the story, and whatever I find out, I'll update, because it's very weird that this is a beautiful young lady, and what could have made her mad? People were saying, somebody else, he really didn't want to marry her, but he proposed to her, or maybe there was another woman, maybe he was leaving her and all of this stuff. But personally, he was still working even after. He didn't contact the parents for 11 hours. He was still working. He was still posting on his social. It had to do with his work. So that's just where my mind is. You can let me know if you think the same, or is there an angle that people haven't thought about? But it's really sad that she lost her life. Really hope that everybody is diligent in finding justice for her, because she had her whole life ahead of her. And if he has something to do with this, and it has to do with his business, and if she invested in him and trusted him, and he lost her money, and he did this to save face, oh my goodness. I just hope that she gets justice, and swift justice. But I also want to say that I think it's absolutely disgusting and deplorable that some of these red pill men and these dusty ass pick-me's have been talking about her because she is dating a Caucasian man, and saying that, she deserved what she got. They don't care. They're not going to cry for her. Some of them are laughing at her death. I've heard a lot of lives, a lot of TikTok videos of people just dragging her, talking about that she said something nasty about black men. She didn't. Everybody has gone and taken snippets of older tweets. Did she have a colorist tweet that could be seen as anti-black features? Yes, she did, when she was talking about mixed babies and how pretty they are. Listen, that mindset, I don't like it in men or women. It's very toxic, it's colorist, and it's anti-black. But that was the only tweets that I saw that were problematic. She never said anything about black men. If you actually click the link, and I'm not going to say it on here, you will see something disgusting that happened that she was talking about as far as black men embarrassing black people. So you can go look that up for yourself. But that's the only thing that she actually said. She really didn't say anything. She was talking about colorism, which is interesting that, probably the feedback that she got on her skin tone and her being a fully monoracial black woman and having to deal with that may have swayed her that way. And then they're talking about her mother married a white guy. It is what it is. Oh, well. And that the mother kind of put ideas in her head. I'm like, first of all, we don't know anything about their relationship. We don't know what was going on. There are no tweets or evidence of her mother being either anti-black or talking about black men, and she didn't even do it. And most of the women who are black women who are in interracial relationships, they do not talk bad about black men. They've dated black men, tried to deal with black men. They've been hit with the anti-blackness and colorism that's running rampant. And they said, you know what? I'm going to explore other options, which I thought not too long ago it was okay to have a preference. And why are you watching who is in somebody else's bed when it was the other way around? But these men have been mocking and scoffing her. And every time they do it, something comes up, because they said nobody cared about a couple of black men who were in relationships with non-black women, and nobody was celebrating the death. People said that they didn't care. I was one of them who said I didn't care. Especially about the guy who said, I don't want anything darker than an Xbox. This is the point. You cannot find that same shit with black women who interracially date, and the mocking and scoffing and nastiness towards black women when these men get with non-black women. The other guy who was unalived and his family was mad and talking about that's why he didn't deal with black bees anyway. This man said he would rather F a dog, and it has to be white. But you want black women to put that aside and rally for him. The other guy who was with the OnlyFans girl, yeah, he was talking greasy about black women. And I know I did some videos on them. I'll pin it to this one. But with all that said, I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think happened in this situation. Do you think she's going to get justice? Do you think they're really going to look into this and figure it out? Or do you think that he has enough money to have this swept under the rug? And I'll see you in the next one.